Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to part 2 of my Vampires Manor build. If you want to see how the outside was created on this, how the build was actually built, you can catch that in part 1. But this part is all, well, more or less all the inside. Right now I'm just working on the layout of the rooms, which what I'm putting down now more or less stays the same. Yeah, so my idea for this build, I was wanting it to look quite old. I had the idea that maybe before the vampire that lived here was a vampire, maybe he was some sort of like rich lord or something, and this was his house before he became a vampire. And so I wanted that grand sort of rich kind of like stately home, more or less kind of look. Yeah, but my idea for the entrance was I was wanting it to be quite grand, quite tall as well, so that's why it takes up the ground floor and the first floor. I wanted you to just be able to walk in and see that like top balcony area, have the 2 sets of stairs either side, and be quite dark in here too, so to keep that like dark feel, I've just gone with a dark wood paneling around here, and then that black marble flooring on the bottom there. Yeah, just sizing up some of the curtains and putting them in, just taking different styles, different colours and overlapping them so it looks a bit more luxurious. But yeah, I've also placed a fountain in the middle, which I had some trouble placing. I didn't realise that when I have been building this build it created a basement, so because of that it wasn't letting us place a pool in the floor here. So yeah, I finally read the error message and realised why it wasn't letting us place the pool, but I got there in the end, I suppose. Yeah, keeping the water in that like blood red colour, and also changing the colour of the fountains so they're red too. Yeah, putting in some suits of armour, which I put in throughout all of the hallways in this build, and also the candlestick holders, which there's the main lighting throughout this build as well. We've got like the big tall candlestick holders, candelabras, candle chandeliers. They are in most rooms. Yeah, just trying to keep it looking old. Taking some of these candle ceiling lights and sizing them up to make like a big sort of grand chandelier in the entranceway too. Yeah, because I've made the entranceway like on the ground floor and it takes up that first floor as well, it doesn't leave a lot of space in the building for other rooms, because there is one more room which is going to be like a hidden sort of like vampires kind of room, that takes up a lot of space in this build. So the other rooms, like the living room, I've just had to squidge in little areas like this, which I know don't make a great deal of sense, but I just like the idea of having that grand entrance when you come in, and then the other room as well, having like the big tall sort of ceilings. So yeah, the bedrooms and this living room, well, most of the bedrooms are just squidged into little tight spaces. But I've managed to be creative with most of the bedrooms. There is 4 bedrooms in this build, and 3 of them I've just got a little bit creative with the beds, trying to come up with beds that look different really, and I have tested these out and the beds I've created do work, but you'll be able to see that more later. But yeah, right now working on the dining room area, just trying to keep that grand theme really. Yeah, big long table with loads of chairs around there, just keeping the texture, the stone texture that I've used on the outside. Right now I'm just making like a little, sort of like just a little table where the servants would stand next to, with all the little sort of silver dished like dishes of food, but they'd be serving all the rich people. Yeah, just because like I said, the house was originally like a lord's house, and so once he became a vampire, like nothing much really changed. Furniture sort of like stayed the same, that old sort of look, but yeah, right next to the dining room I get the kitchen in as well, and just staying with that old theme and getting in some kitchen cabinets, because, well, you've got to have like the kitchen counters in to make it usable, as well as trying to like keep it looking old. Also want it to be usable, you know, just in case you do have a sim living here. Yeah, but just going around putting around like loads of little knickknacks in the kitchen, loads of little clutter items, and I also get a table out and put that in the middle. I know like old sort of like kitchens, they didn't really have counters, it was more or less like just tables and side tables sort of things like that just around the place. But yeah, to make it usable I've had to put the counters in, obviously. Yeah, so I wanted to keep like the old theme in here, so that's why we've got a load of like copper items around, copper pans and pots and things. Yeah, also got two cookers in there, and I've just went and sized up one of the little kettles and placed that on the cooker. I like doing that, I've done that in a few other builds. I think it just adds a nice little touch there. And there I am putting that table in the middle that I mentioned, just putting some more clutter items on there. I'm also getting one of them old little stools and put it just next to where I've placed them pans as well in here. Yeah, the room I go on to next from here I think is the actual main sort of like vampires room, where if you watch part 1 I also mentioned that I've tried to create a coffin, which it's quite interesting. I've got a little bit creative in this room with some things, and I've also tried to create an organ, like the old sort of like organs, pipe organs, which I wasn't too sure of myself. I was going to delete it, I wasn't quite sure of the look of it, but I thought I'd just leave it in and let you guys decide if you like it or not. I don't know if it's maybe like a move objects cheat too far or what have you, but yeah. Right now I'm just deleting some of the basement that miraculously appeared from nowhere. Yeah, in part 1 I created this little secret entrance down here, and this is going to be leading off to sort of like a vampire's secret ritual room, which I wanted like a little narrow sort of dark hallway leading down to that. So most of this basement bit down here that has been created somehow isn't really going to be usable, well, isn't going to be used, so yeah, just decided to delete that and create that little space down there. And down here I have used the same bricks on the outside, but I've just took it in a darker colour. Just I wanted this to be really dark down here. Yeah, so the brick colour I've gone darker on the walls and the floor. But yeah, back into the vampires room, and there is some big windows at the front that really need to be blocked off. You don't need your vampires melting off the sunlight. Yes, I've just took a load of curtains and like in the main entrance sized them up and overlaying different colours, different styles of curtains. And I was going to go with like a red theme on furniture and curtains in here, but I thought I'd just mix it up a bit and go with this nice deep purple. I saw it and I just really fell in love with this purpley colour. And I don't think I've used like purple colours in many builds before, so I thought, well, this is a perfect build to get that in. But yeah, loads of candles in here, loads of candelabras, tall candlestick holders, and also I think I get some suits of armour in here too. This room is just like a fun room that I've built, really. You know, there's not really much use to it. It's just to fit in with the theme of the build, and just something where I could get a bit creative as well, because I like that. That's what keeps me coming back to this game, the move objects cheat and being able to just create my own things. Yeah, but right now I am working on just sort of like a little candle area where I just go crazy with a load of candles, just shoving them in here, there and everywhere around in this little corner, which in hindsight probably isn't the best idea with them curtains being right next to it. That is a fire hazard, but it's The Sims 4, you know. I think it'll be alright. Yeah, getting in them little shelves up the top. What was it? is it the Day of the Dead, I think it was called, like the update we got with that. Yeah, we got them with that update. I think it's called something like that. But yeah, I quite like the look of them in the black, and they've got like the skulls on the top, so we're fitting in with the theme. And also later on go into the debug items and get out some of the little science glass jar things, and what they're called, I can't remember now, but like the red ones, because it just looked like blood to me. So yeah, I just fill that up with little blood vials. Yeah, right now I am trying to create a coffin. So I've just took some of the roof decorations and just trying to shape, like just put them out in the shape of a coffin, which is quite hard. Yeah, but we've just got a bed in the middle of there, which isn't usable because it is surrounded by the roof decorations. And right now I'm just trying to create some handles on the coffin, where I was going to use wall hooks, but because they are for walls, you can't really freely rotate them when you use the Alt key. So I just took some of the gold bars and rotated them in the way I needed them, and just raised them up, hid most of it within the coffin that I've created there. But yeah, also I've created a coffin, and the coffin needs a lid, so I came up with the idea of using one of the chimneys, which it looks quite good, but I suppose if you've got any of the fireplaces on that I place around here, it's probably not going to look as good, because it's going to look like it's on fire. But yeah, I quite like the look of that. Yeah, and then also in this little corner here is where I have tried to create a like pipe organ type thing, which I'm not quite sure of myself. I don't know. I think it's because when you see these organs, they are like quite big. Well, like the pipes behind it, they are quite tall. Whereas I haven't been able to do that with this, make them like really tall. Yeah, I'm just messing about with a few things now, trying to hide certain things that I don't want shown, like the top of the lights. I just wanted the actual stem of that to be like the actual pipes. But yeah, I don't quite know. I think I might have just been too much in my little build element. I don't know, it does turn out, it looks okay, but I think it's just because it's quite small that I'm not quite feeling it. But I thought I would leave it in, let everybody have their own thoughts on if they like it or not. And if you do download this, if you don't like it, I suppose you can always delete it. Although there is a lot of objects to go in and delete. Yeah, but the actual piano of this I've tested out, and you can use it. So that is still usable, I suppose, on a plus side. Yeah, I really mess about a lot with this. More than I should have done. I think that's probably why I ended up keeping it in the end. I thought, well, I've spent all this time on it, you're staying. Yeah, there's not a lot more that I get in this room now. Just like I said, I go and put the glass bottles on the shelves, and then that's it for this room. Next, I think I move on to one of the bedrooms. I think it is. I can't remember now. It was a while ago I did this build. I think it is. But yeah, we've got a bedroom on the ground floor, and then the rest of the bedrooms are on the first floor. But yeah, just messing about with some lights too, getting the lights in here. And then I think, yeah, this is going to be where the next bedroom is, which is quite small. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to fit a bedroom in. Yeah, it's a weird shape. But yeah, this bedroom, I mess about with a bed, trying to come up with a new sort of like looking bed, I suppose. But just trying to keep in with the theme of the build as well. So making it look old and wooden. I really didn't even know like what type of bed I was going for, just something with the sort of like canopy type thing on the back, I suppose. But it worked out. It looks okay, and it's something new. It looks different, because I'm just really bored of the beds. I've been saying that for ages. I can't wait for this new pack, because it does look like there is some new beds in it, and some 4-poster beds, which I have put in here. Obviously not out the new pack, like I've made my own up. But yeah, getting a little writing desk in the corner there. We've also got a set of drawers with loads of little cluttery items on, and also get a chair in here, and a freestanding mirror and a wardrobe, and just putting some more candle lights around the place and a little rug. Yeah, most of the hallways are more or less the same, sort of like that stone texture on the walls, just paintings up, suits of armour, candles. Yeah, got a little bathroom here on this floor. There was just this little space here which there wasn't much to do with, and it's quite small for to try and fit in any other type of room, so I thought a bathroom would fit in there quite well, so pop that in there. Yeah, this big room you can see on this floor was originally going to be the library, but like all the other rooms were like really quite small, and I thought there's got to be like a big main bedroom, and the only other place for that would have been on the floor above this, which I didn't like the idea of having it up there. I wanted it to be on this because like the ground floor and the first floor is sort of like the main part of the house, so yeah, I wanted it to be in like the main part of the house, so I scrapped the idea of having the library in there, and that big room does end up being the sort of main bedroom. I still get the library in, just that goes on the floor above this. So yeah, on this floor it's just mainly bedrooms and another secret entrance to the vampire's secret hidden room. Yeah, so the bedroom that was down there, I didn't really do anything fancy with the bed in that room, but the other two bedrooms I do. Yeah, getting another bathroom in here too. I think there is like a bathroom, I put like a toilet and bathroom on every floor. I'm sure there's one on every floor more or less. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what room I'm going. Oh, I must go into this little room. It's quite, the bed that I've created in here is quite interesting. So this is the only room that has a single bed in. The rest of the rooms I've created are all double bedrooms. But yeah, I wanted to try and make it look like the bed is in this sort of like wooden structure type thing. Yeah, and then there's like curtains on the side, which I really wasn't sure that this was going to be usable. I actually thought I was gonna have to delete this full room and do something else with it, but no, when I went in and tested, the Sims could actually get in and out of the bed, so I was happy about that. That bed does take up a lot of the room, so there isn't a lot of furniture that goes into here really. Well, it's quite small in any ways, and to have the bed there, I've had to create a little secret entrance into the other room, which I thought it was quite nice. You normally see in old houses like this, they've got like secret doors hidden here, there and everywhere, little secret corridors and entrances and things. So yeah, I like the idea of that. Working on this hallway, just getting some curtains in, put a table there with a nice little ornament on that, and as usual, suits of armour and candles all over the place. But yeah, now moving on to what is going to be the master bedroom, and it is quite big, I know, but that was mainly because it was going to be the library. But it's a big grand house, so you would have like quite a big grand master bedroom, I suppose. But yeah, I wanted a nice 4-poster bed in here, and I wanted it to be like ceiling height, so we've got the just normal columns in, and then to try and sort of hide it a bit, like I didn't want it all to be totally open, and you can't size curtains up too much because they'll be clipping through into the floor below. Yeah, so just to hide that a little bit, I've took some of them wooden wall sort of oddie things and hid some of it with that. Yeah, but there were like clipping through the curtains there as well, so then I have to go back and move them all again, which is annoying, but it's worth it, isn't it? It looks nice. It does look nice at the end. I was going to make this room like more red, but then when I was looking for the curtains, I saw the nice blue curtains, and I thought, well, that would actually look quite nice in here. And I suppose most of the hallways I've done with like red rugs running along them, so you don't want every room just being red. So yeah, mix it up a bit and use blue in here. But yeah, moving on to the corner here, just getting like a little writing desk in the corner, put some books and stuff on there, and obviously like writing items and things. Oh, and yeah, before I forgot to mention the little secret bookshelf door that I've got there. I've just tried to like make it blend in by putting some of the bookshelves that are quite similar to that door either side of it. So yeah, so trying to make it look more like a bookshelf. Putting in some wardrobes and drawers around there, and also getting like a little seating area and a little table, put out a little tea set on there, which I quite like doing in like old builds like this. And yeah, we're also gotta have a dressing table in here. I like making up these little dressing tables with the mirrors. I just wish The Sims would actually put a dressing table in that is like this, like something like this, but they haven't. Hopefully one day we might get something like that. Yeah, just trying to find loads of little items to fill up this room with it being so big. Obviously putting in some candle lights too, and I think that is that it for this floor. I think it is. I think I've done all of the rooms on this floor, so we're moving on to the floor above here, which has the library on. The library's quite a big room too. I quite like the library, it's nice. Yeah, but there's also some stairs from the library that go up onto the very top floor. Just there wasn't anywhere else I could fit them in, so yeah, they've been popped into the library. But yeah, so going around the walls here, I've put loads of bookcases and raised some up so they're more or less the height of the wall. In like old buildings like this, you see libraries like this, really, don't you? With the big tall bookshelves. But obviously because we have the big tall bookshelves, it's like, well, how can my sim reach the top? So I also came up with the idea of just putting in one of the ladders, which you normally see in sort of like libraries like this, where they have the big tall bookshelves, the ladders that are sort of like it's on a railing, and then there's wheels on the bottom, so you can just push it along to whichever section you want. I think there's actually one in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, or I might just be seeing things. Yeah, I know what I mean. Hopefully you do. But yeah, also in between the bookcases there is a bit where there are some windows, and I don't like covering up windows with objects, so I didn't put any bookcases there. I've just made up a little sort of like trophy cabinet, and yeah, popped a load of trophies in there. Get a fireplace in here too, and a little seating area, because you need somewhere to sit down and read your books, you know. You don't just want to park your butt on the floor and read. But yeah, just get a few little cluttered book, like the little books in the corner there, little clutter items. And I haven't really cluttered up this build at all too much. I think I went quite OTT on my last build with all the clutter, so I'm trying to just keep it decluttered in this build. Yeah, I think this is the only bit of actual floor clutter that I've done in this build. Yeah, just doing this other little hallway with some seats, some suits of armour and some candles, and I was left with these two little rooms which I built and had no idea what I wanted to do with them. So one of them has turned into a bathroom, and the other one I just really didn't have a clue what to do with. So I've ended up just making that into like a little artist room. I've never done like a little artist room or anything like that before, so I thought, well, I've got a spare room here with no idea what to do with it, so I'll just pop a little artist room in there. But yeah, I also put these little spires on the outside of these rooms, which I have had to remove during testing, as when you place items, you've got that little green grid thing on the floor, and when you size up items, the green grid also sizes up. And now with these spires, anything that lies within their green grid is rendered unusable. So the toilet and the sink in the bathroom area, and then the easel in the painting room just weren't usable because they were clipping in to that grid. So yeah, I've had to remove them, but I've just replaced it with some wooden columns, which you will be able to see in the pictures, but it still looks quite nice. It's not too bad. But yeah, doing some more roof work in here, which I really thought was going to be the end. But then I was looking and I saw, and I thought it would be nice to have that roof decoration just around the bottom edge there. And yeah, I found some little roses and thought to put them around the candles in the vampire's room. But yeah, now going down to the little secret entrance area. I didn't really have any idea of how I really wanted this room to go. I just knew I wanted it to be like a little secret sort of like ritual kind of vampires. I don't even know. But I've also put like a little jail down here and a little skeleton in there for some poor little soul. I've just been in there so long that now they're just bones. Yeah. But in the middle, I've tried to create like a sort of altar. Maybe they'd use it for human sacrifices or something. Yeah. Also behind here, I get a little table in with loads of little knickknacks on, put some little jars, and there's some skulls, a scroll, and I go in the debug items and get out one of the little herbalist books. Yeah, just something to look like it would be sort of like sacrifice sort of items. Like maybe the scroll or the book was some ancient text that they had to read out when they were doing the sacrifices. Yeah, also get another little shelf in here. Well, it's not little, I actually size it up till it's quite big. But yeah, get another shelf in here with some of the blood bottles on. And oh yeah, I go into the the pool items and find the little floor sort of like pool lights and put a few of them on the floor just around the altar. I just thought they could be like little like carved channels in the floor where like when they're doing the sacrifices, any blood that's just dripped down could just drip down the channels and into the water outside. Then there's also like either side, as you've seen, probably like the blood fountains. Yeah, there's not a lot more I can say about this. It is what it is. Yeah, sadly I'm not going to have any more time to do any more Halloween builds before Halloween, so this is going to be the last Halloween build. So yeah, I hope you have a spectacular Halloween, and hopefully I'll see you back here for the next build. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
I was told it was urgent, come see me tonight. In the circle we're flirting and we dance for hours. She knew that she had me, but I didn't realize I'm sleeping with a vampire. Got lost in the city when we drove through the night. Stopped by in an alley and she kissed me wild. She knew that she had me, but I didn't see. She knew I was waiting through months in pain. The one day she texted me at 12.